to the wisdom flow. Revenue ramp, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go.
Today we have an exciting episode with a guest who brings in a wealth of experience in B2B sales. And I was going through your profiles app and I've seen like you have stayed in an organization for a very longer time and then switched. So I think it takes a lot to basically be at an organization for more than 4 to 5 years, right? And help them grow, see them grow from X to Y to Z, so on and so forth, right? So I think this really I was really impressed by seeing your profile there. So I'll just quickly wrap up for the audience. So Sab is here. He's growth and sales manager at Mailmodo, with 9+ years of experience in B2B and B2C sales, business development, channel management, so on and so forth. And Sab has also closed over 1,200 plus clients and have been driving sales consistently. So welcome, Saab. Really glad that you can make out time and be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Ashutosh. Excited to be here and share some insights on how my overall growth has been and how we can put in more information for all the audiences out there in the market. Thank you again.
Absolutely. My pleasure, Saab. So thank you so much again. So how we can do this is majorly like would love to ask you a few questions, right? So I want to like bring in as we were discussing, right? You have had a successful sales career. People actually jump out of sales if there are, because sales is not easy, right? It's a day-to-day rejection, day-to-day consistency, and making your mind up, keeping at it. I think it's a hard job to be in, right? So you have had a successful career. This didn't happen like overnight of sort. So it's built through persistence, adaptability of sort, right? And let's start from your journey. And can you walk us through like how did you actually started sales, got into sales, and then how you now have like leadership roles that you are in, right? So yeah.
Thank you. Yep. To start with, so how did I start with like basically with my sales career has been with my parents. How is that is because like basically wherever we go, especially in Indian market, right, even if it might be a small or a big, any product that which you purchase, right? We try to bargain. So you see them some kind of skills that which you're learning from your parents or it will be from your grandparents. Anywhere today, we go to a vegetable shop or wherever, not in malls and all, especially because see we are like from the middle class families, so we try to bargain anything and everything possible, right? So that mindset has been always there. So I started my first job as a promoter, as a liquor promoter with UB, which is United Spirits, for almost like 6 months. And then while I was promoting, so one of the founder from the company called Indian Stage. So it was a very early stage, someone adopting to online for online payments, online ticketing and all. At that point in time, I would say from like it was 2011. So he met me there. He loved my skills, especially how I was promoting a liquor for him to upsell on a different product where he was too comfortable with one of the whiskey where I promoted something else. So he gave me his card and he told, "I'm looking for a sales. So if you're interested, come and meet." So it like my their office was very near and my house also was very near. It was like a 2 to 3 kilometers difference. So it took me almost a month to take the decision. So I went to see what is the opportunity all about. So I loved what they've done in the past. And then yes, I had to say yes. At that point in time, it was like what I was earning, it was a 50% of what I'm going to earn on the new company. But I saw a long picture where the career growth, see, being a promoter, and there it's going to be a complete role which I'm switching. It was all good. So we started. So that is when, well, like I'm not sure if you're aware. So Bangalore had one of the booming big ground, which is called Palace Ground. So we had like a lot of concerts that which keep happening where organizers struggle to sell the tickets. We go open the market, like all the pubs, all the malls and all where they'll be standing and all. And once in a while, they do TV ads or newspaper ads and all. So that's when we wanted to get that to online. We went convinced for a particular small commission. And then, yes, that's where I started. And it went well, really. Like with Indian Stage, I was there for almost like 4.5 years. Got them some good revenue. I've got some of the biggest concerts, like AR Rahman Show 5 city tour, 6 city tour and all. Work with artists very closely. Let it be Natharuddin Shah, Sonu Nigam, Shreya Ghoshal. So it was all a good experience. And then in 2015, it was the same funded company for both the companies, if I'm not wrong, which was Explara. So it got merged. Explara and like Indian State got merged. And then I came into event solution, not just the event ticket solution. It became a all-in-one solution where we had community building, or where you have event ticket conference, let it be TEDx or let it be NASCOM. Everyone used to use those platforms. Even now, I think Thai, they still use Explara for managing their overall community, their email marketing and all. Yep. So there was a gap after Expara. It was a little bit growth slow and all. So I saw this particular product. So we connected. And 2020, I saw it was a new product called AMP, which is all a new way of email marketing. I fell in love with the
Uh,
product, not on the job or anything. I fell in love with the product. I thought that this would be a right fit for my industry, that where I got that confident. So yes, it's been like 4 years. It's really going good. And with a lot of skills, used all my previous skills, it's going good as of now. It's a really amazing, I
Right.
would say, roller coaster journey that which is going on.
No, absolutely. I think uh, incidentally or coincidentally, basically, I was running a company back in 2016-17,
Okay,
which
okay.
was an artist management company,
Okay.
and I used to provide uh, musicians to a lot of restaurant chains in Delhi
That's really
NCR.
amazing. Wow, that's
So
really
I
amazing.
I can totally understand what you are trying to tell, and the pain that you have been through. It's great actually, reflecting. So reflecting on your early days in sales, right? And what key lessons you did learn while you were like just growing your sales career and like laying all the foundation of your career in sales. What were some challenges and lessons that you had?
Challenges, yes. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. So let's say if you close something that you'll be really happy. The next day, if you don't close anything, then you'll be a little bit sad. So how do you come across passing all that again, go get going again with the same motivation, right? That's really, really important. But yeah, like what I've seen, even if they say no today, you still have an opportunity. It's not that they've completely shut the door. Like going back to them. So get all your contacts together, keep in touch with them, right? One, it might be a referral, or sometimes it might be the client might join some other company. What I'm seeing from the last like two like startups, especially not in Indian stage, I'm talking about Explara and the current company Mailmodo. What I've been seeing is, so the client whom I was still in touch with Explara, you call them even now, say hi, and how's it going? Suddenly you might be seeing that the company he was working is no more with that company, but the company that which he's joined now, there's an opportunity, it's a mind for you. So now you are building that relationship. So the relationship what you have carried for so many years, now it's helping you in this business also, right? I've seen some of the clients where I've carried all over, but not like for a different services, because I've changed my company. The services has been changed, but I've built that particular relationship.
I think relationship building is what you focus on.
Really, yeah, really, really important in sales. What I say, it's not just about like a you win and you make some commission, you got your salary. No, I don't believe in that kind of sales. I would always believe in building a relationship is very, very important, so that it becomes your family. You can remember their name. So today, if you remember even a 4 year, 5 year client, when he calls you, you will be like, hey, Shabharish, this. You can just relate so many things, right? That's really, really important on building those.
Makes sense. I think you are absolutely right, right? So in today's world, building relationship is will be the key, I guess, right? In the AI world, a lot of emails are being written, a lot of LinkedIn messages are being getting done, right? So if you are able to like build a relationship very closely with your customer or a prospect, I think that is going to make a dent for sure. I have another question, majorly on because I think you were doing a lot of field sales or different sales at that moment of time, right? But then you switched into SaaS sales. So how different it was from switching from Explara to Mailmoder?
I would say, but like it was great because it's a same tool, the same research I used to do. Even in Explorer or let it be in Indian stage, you need to search where the events are happening. You need to talk to the customer. You need to get the contact person who's the right decision maker. So it was all, I did a lot of tools, especially LinkedIn was the best tool that which I was using. So first thing is, when I started my career also at that point in time, there is no any other tool, either Facebook or it was LinkedIn, which I started finding out the right person, finding out the events and all, and then reaching out to the right person. So that's when I started sending the invitation to all my like people where that built my LinkedIn also. Even now, I would say switching from events, because it was all at that point in time, it was all about event solution that which I was selling when I joined Explorer. At the same time, as a event solution, where we are also started giving a email marketing as a solution, where you integrate, you start sending. So it was easy. Like I was able to understand the product well. So it was easy for me to
Wait,
switch.
so majorly you were also selling a product while even if you were in Explorer, you were
Yes,
selling a product. So it was
yes,
easier for you to basically start from there. I think, yeah, got it, got it. So now from the days that when you started and sales has actually significantly changed, right? So over
sure,
the years
sure.
and today's buyers are much more informed. They ask a lot of questions, and there is now a lot of research tools that are present, like G2. They go to G2, check G2, and there are a lot of tools to basically research about a software and then probably make a decision. And sales professionals do need to adapt, right? So in your
Very
experience, like
important.
what are must-have skills for succeeding in B2B sales in today's world and in, let's say, coming year 2025?
Sure, that's an absolutely right question, right? Like sales has been completely dramatically. It's an experience if you really ask me, and it's a learning, right? So if you really ask me, what is the first few skills that we should be needing? First thing is know the product very well. If you're really confident, you need to be really confident on the product what you're going to sell in the market, right? You need to understand in and out of the product so that you will be able to fit in fit in the product to your customer. That it be whichever customer coming to your call, you will be able to fit in the product so well that they would have never thought about this is how I can use this product. This is how I can generate more leads. This is how I can like increase my let it be up sales or a cross sales or engage with my customer, right? So I would say first thing very important is to understand both the product in and out. That's very important. And yes, knowing about your current customer, like for example, current customer tools, what all tools that they're using, how is it helping them, and understanding the client, like when they are on call, right? Without you telling me that, hey, there's a problem which I'm facing is the reason why I'm exploring your tool. So it's not that mandatory that, hey, I'm facing a problem here, I'm facing by talking to them, you should be able to analyze where the major problem is facing. Is it on the data? Is it on the domain reputation? Let's say I'm relating to the current company, which is mail mode. So first thing is for me to understand what is their open rate, click rate, how many emails they are sending, where are the emails they are sending, what happened to the emails. So we need to understand that better. At the same time, if you really ask me a lot more things again, like knowing about your competitors. Let's say they have been already using a particular tool. Let's say if they're happy to share the tool, okay. If not, there are tools in the market that which will still tell you that this customer is using this tool. So you should be
Yeah, yeah,
knowing about your
absolutely.
competitor also very, very well. So that
Yeah,
that is something that which will be able to highlight your tool, the product that which you're selling.
yeah,
Highlight your tool. Hey, this is what the strength is. See what you are not in the current tool. You highlight on that without even asking, hey, does this tool have this? No, don't do that. Instead of that, you already understood the pain point. So now you highlight this is what it has to be done. And just showing some kind of like a proof, like we just talking, no, it'll not come into, I would say, not a building a confidence for him, right? It's only you're talking. So showing some kind of proof, let it be a case study, or
yeah,
that's really important. And relating case study for their business, right? For example, if it's a SaaS that which is there, try to get a related case study of another like other company where very, very, very close so that will build a better confidence. This is what I would say. These are some of the like major skills. I would say the rest everything like again, relationship building is something that which we already spoke about. So yep. So these are some of the things that which I think in my sales
makes sense.
career that which I've been using very regularly.
Yep, yep, yep. I think you touched upon great must-have skills. So I think knowing the product better is the key, right? If you don't
Yep.
know the product, Probably even let's say today, because I'm also selling in Revrag today, right? So if I don't know the product, probably I'll look uh, really bad in front of my customers, right? And even I should be able to understand, okay, where the product is growing, where it is heading, what all things it can solve, understanding, having empathy. I think, yeah, apt at many points. So many in sales, as we discussed, right, face a lot of challenges. Sales is not easy. Again, everybody tells that, and it is overwhelming, right? So whether it's meeting and handling objections while you're on a call, right? So if you have certain tips or something that you do religiously, any strategies that you have built, the craft that you have built while selling to like 1200 plus clients, doing a lot of events. So any strategies of
Okay. See, that's really important, especially if you are to be really a salesperson. It's very important to take yes or no. So client might reject, you might also close, right? That's really, really important. But what is the learning from here? Either one is you didn't give a good product, or the product might not be a
yeah.
right fit for your customer. Or second one,
Mm,
maybe I didn't answer the right way for the customer what they were looking for, because my focus was all about
mm,
selling, transactional. My mind
yeah.
is all about, hey, I need to close this deal. No, it doesn't work in that way. If you really ask me, trying to understand a customer in better, so that there might be multiple reasons, right? It's not just one reason why they would have rejected, or they would have not, they might not be a right fit, or the pricing. You try to understand, maybe out of that, when the client says yes, you will be happy. So you'll be moving on. If the client says no, that means it's a learning. That why you said learning. If you really get that from the customer, what is the reason? Either the product was not a right fit, or maybe the pricing was not a right fit, or maybe it's not a right time for him to switch, or maybe a bandwidth is the issue. So you try to understand that, so that that will help you to motivate. Again, you can keep going, right? There are,
And
like,
how
you
do
might
you,
have.
just
Sure,
sorry
please
to
go.
cut you. I'm just curious. So how do you today basically know that, okay, what was the reason for rejection of my deal, right? So I think sometimes people ghost you, right? So even asking them is not helping. So is there anything that you do specifically that probably can help others?
See, today there are tools in the market that where I can directly just go saying that this deal is closed because they're not they've become unresponsive, right? So that's not a right way. Once, yes, but still there can be some kind of mails, because I'm eager to know where is the mistake, because you know that they are a right fit for you. This product is going to fit because you know about their business, you know about what product you're selling, right? So one
Mm,
is you do a multiple follow-up emails, or try to drop a WhatsApp message wherever you find at least somewhere or the other, at least let's say out of 10%, like out of 10 people who would have said no, at least three people somewhere, hey, please, no, this is not the right time. I'm sorry, I'm traveling. Or maybe my product is yet to be launched, or my team, we have a lot of bandwidth issue, or we are going through some kind of like a cutting down the budget. So you get to know some or the other, so that you are okay. This is not something that which is my problem. It is there is something that, okay. So now you understood. Okay, so when is the right time? So you keep in touch with the customer. See, as I told, there are tools in the market that you can put a reminder. Today, all the CRMs comes with the reminder that where you can call them back after 2 months. You would have told, hey,
yeah.
call me, like we'll again reconnect after 2 months, or like let's
Mm,
say next 3 weeks. That's really important, right? It's not just creating a task and you just left it there because you lost a deal. Okay, so let's focus on a new customer. No, it's not like not only that, you still need to go back to the customer who said that, like, let's connect after 2 months. It's a reminder for him. So that is how you're building a relationship also, right? So that's common, especially, yeah, especially in sales, someone saying no, it's very common. Like today, let's say even you talk to 50 customers on a monthly basis, where out of it, even if you close, let's say 15 customers, so there are remaining 35. Multiple reasons why you would have lost them. But it's always good to go back to them and try to build a pipeline again back, so that what you would have done, where 2 months back, there is a customer who would have told, hey, let's connect 2 months back. So now it's time. So I'm going back to the customer. So one is I'm getting my pipeline built on a regular basis.
and which tool do you like recommend to, as in you use majorly CRM for this, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Uh, that's a nice question. So we have multiple tools, especially on how we use it and like how we use and all, right? One is as a HubSpot, we've been using as a sales CRM to manage our deals, manage our overall tasks on a regular
Mm.
basis. Yes. So I think, well, like in the past, I've used Salesforce. In the past, I've used Fresh Sales and all, but this companies choose HubSpot. Yes, I'm adopting, and it's good.
Cool. I think a lot of things for me to learn from, right? And to actually digest. I have been stuck with a lot of clients. I was unable to know the reason why they stopped responding to me, why they actually, it was new for me because I was selling a product field, kind of a field sales while I was doing my first startup, but this is a purely different version of selling, right? It is software sales, and there are site patterns, there are things that you need to do. So there were clients that were rejecting me, but I didn't know the reason. And that's why I asked you, like, what can be a way to basically go back and check and ask, okay, what was the reason? Why did you not buy us? Or did you buy our competitors of sort, right? So I think, yeah, uh, you're right. I think knowing that actually will be able to help you improve. I think there is one thing that I truly believe is if let's say today somebody is not buying you, right? Then you are actually helping your competitor, right? Uh,
True.
so it
You're
is
right.
it is in a way that you have helped your competitor by not closing this deal, right? So I truly believe this, and every deal can actually change the route of a company.
Very well.
Because
I,
yeah,
well, like as you are also facing this particular problem. So these days, right? So what I'm using another strategy also, right? See, especially as you're a founder, I'm not sure how you will be able to use it. Me being a sales manager, so this really helped me. So I go with a different strategy, telling that, hey, yes, Tosh, hey, hi, we had a very good conversation. So you wanted to solve this, you wanted to solve that. I
mm,
see for the last few days, there's no response. So is there anything, something that which you could not find? What is the problem? In the end, I write one line saying that we have a leadership meeting very soon. So I need to give an update about your deal also. So it'll be really helpful, or what is the timeline, or if there is any concern, so that somehow there
right.
is something emotional that which I'm putting in the email, right? Okay, this guy is
Emotional,
a
yeah, yeah.
salesperson, so now he
I
has to
think
be,
this should
now he
work,
is
right?
answerable. I have
This
seen
should
most of
work.
the people, Shabharish. So I use some kind of, there should be some emotion, not like regular fella, hey, I want to follow up with you when I'm closing. That that's become very common, right? Today our email box are getting filled, right? Like
Right.
instead going with more of a, we discussed on this in this day. You wanted to get started with this. So when can we connect? Is your account set up? Like I still see that you open it result. That means what is happening? So there's some kind of, one is giving a value. What is the value that which you're missing by not by not coming to my organization, by not using this particular product. Second thing, I'm also putting a small emotional line telling that, hey, I have a leadership meeting. So also I cannot keep my sales cycle open for such a long time. It's going to affect my sales cycle. So I would be really happy to hear a few lines from you on what is. So there is, I've seen most of the people do reply. It's like, especially where I'm dealing with most of the Indians. And I think there is Indians, we're all connected with emotions. So I think there is always a, like some or the other way, out of, as I told, out of like 10 customers, at least I would have got like a 4 or 5 customers where there is a response. Or else
Awesome.
my
This is a
leadership.
good rate.
Yeah.
So this is a very good rate actually. So I'm just while you were speaking, I was thinking what I can say, right? So probably I can say that my next round is closing, man, and I need some deals. So if you can tell
We
me
will,
whether you are converting or not, I think this is a very good thing.
it's
People
really amazing.
watching, I don't know like what they will think of us, but yeah.
It's a strategy. Like,
Uh,
see, we also go quarter end. So if I had one more deal into my kitty, so I will be having so much in my target, right? So I'm very close to my target. So it's a last minute, right? So before that, it's all about how are you giving a value to the customer. So only that last point, it comes only to, so that get some response by using those fancy words or emotional words, it will not close because customer cannot just spend on that. But it's all about so that you can get some kind of response from them so that you understand where they are stuck.
That makes sense, makes sense. And one more question that I have is like you have been selling in India, right? Majorly,
Yeah.
I have had a chat with a lot of people who are selling in US,
Yeah.
and I have like our primary market is also US. We have some Indian clients, but majorly working with US folks, right? So like I've heard a lot about it's hard selling in India. It's a price sensitive market, and so on. So how you're doing sales, and now you're doing sales in India, like how do you compare these things? Like, how do you put it?
But like, yes, even my US team today, but like asked me the same question. Discount, see, whatever you give, whatever value that which you show, especially like with the Indian customers, I always say discounts works better. But at the same time, so like especially what I've seen with the Indian customers, it's a mix of fruit bowl. They want all the fruits, right? It's a
Mm,
mix of let's say discount with a value, and same thing.
mm,
It should be a very unique features where it should not be there with anyone else. So it's a mix of like food basket. So it all depends again on how you're negotiating, right? You're giving something out of it. Like what is there in the platform? It's there. So on top of it, what are you giving? Right? You take one more apple for you, right? And what is that? So you always, especially we are in the SaaS, right? You get feature comparison, feature like pricing one, pricing
mm.
slab two. So you give something
Yep.
out of this, out of from the bigger basket, you give to the smaller person. He'd be really happy. Okay, I'm getting something out of it by bargain, like by negotiating. So that's always there. We give some of the, we need something out of it. Like it's because I'm talking to a human, so I want to like test my negotiation skills also at the same time. I'm talking with the customer. Let it be even today. Like we also try to like today, especially in Indian market, we try to bargain on anything and everything possible. If there is an opportunity, why should I just go it? We today, if you're going and buying a car, hey, what is the year and hey, what is the Diwali offer? When you're buying a car, also you're trying to, like, it's common, right? So those skills is something that, like, it's common. Like, and the
No, no,
advantage,
absolutely. I think.
another advantage, what you have, especially with Indian customers, is you use at that point in time. I used to use Facebook to message customers also. When never used to get their
Mm,
contact numbers. Today there are so many tools in the market where you can get contact because it would have fetched from one tool to another tool. Today all the mobile apps and all you are leaving the mobile number. Those times it used to be Facebook or LinkedIn messages for me, right? Until they give me the number. And today, and especially for the last 4 5 years, what I'm seeing, you have so many channels that which is open for you to discuss with your customer. When it comes to SMS, there is no much response. You have WhatsApp, which is a closer thing, and then comes email, little slower response. You have that calling also, and you have LinkedIn also. You have so many channels that which is open for you. If not this, you can open this. So you see, we started our conversation not directly on call or something. It's on LinkedIn, something
yeah.
similar, right? So it's very less customer feeling offended that you messaged me on LinkedIn. You're trying to sell. No, it's common. So especially in India, you can sell anything in any channel. It's possible. So there you have a lot more opportunity to get into the customer.
Hmm. And one question I have is like, how is your split looking like today, right? As in split, when I ask is uh, like when you start reaching out to customers, 30% email, 20% LinkedIn, 10%, let's say calling, and 5% WhatsApp. So like, what's the overall of two channel set, and then what's the distribution if you can share?
Okay. See, especially there are like stepping back, there are like there is two things, right? Whether it's a outbound sales outreach, which I am doing by my personal, because I know that this organization is going to be a right fit to use mail more, or the other side where the customer is coming directly to the platform and they would have signed up, right? So there is
Hmm.
an inbound and there is an outbound that which I'm doing. So outbound directly calling will like it takes a lot of skills, right? Even if the customer
Okay.
might give you a max of 30 seconds or a max 1 minute, he will hear about you. If you're trying to impress, you need to impress him within that 1 minute. After that, that's it. You're gone. If he's impressed within that 1 minute, especially on the outbound, you're happy. The second one comes to LinkedIn. LinkedIn, where he accepted. Now you're going with, hey, you're managing, you need to start a story, and then you're going with some kind of message. LinkedIn is a slow, like I would say it's a good response only, but there is a delay in response Yes. But when it comes to inbound, email also works for us and calling also works. Calling is a mandatory. I would say I get a lot of demos, a lot of demo book happens directly through calling. Last, I keep it as WhatsApp, but like
Mm.
especially for inbound, like where the customer did not join, or let's say where you're already given a demo. So it's not that in the first case you can use a WhatsApp. I've never seen something happening. It's only direct call or directly email. Once after the demo is given, where you're following up for the customer to set account setup, or let's say some kind of like a closure where you're following, then you can use the like WhatsApp also as a channel.
And then you do discoveries as well, right? So because lead quality is really very important. So like
Yeah.
how do you recognize that okay, this is the account that I wanna like follow? And is there a mechanism of sort, or it's like ICP driven? It's like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Or it is emotional angle to it as well, or a gut feeling as well. Like how do you decide overall?
Again, especially at this point in time, it's all about email marketing, what I'm selling in the market, right? It's a tool that which I'm selling to manage your own customers, to engage, update, and all, right? So first thing what I see is how large is your user base. For me, how will I get to know that is based on your website visits. There are tools in the market that which will give you how many visits on an average per month. So that means if there are this many particular like clicks that which are coming to your website, that means out of it, even if I take a 20%, that means there are this many sign-ups that which might be, and that will help me to understand whether are they going to be a right fit. Will they be sending enough emails? So that's another advantage. By going to any client's website today, I get to know whether it's a scheduler demo or whether it's a sign up. Right? Scheduler demo is very less. That means you have a less users who will schedule a demo. You need to give a demo, then the customer comes into it, then you start lead nurturing. That means the ICP for me is very less. It's not like a must to have tool for them. But when it comes to a sign up in your website, when you say when you are giving them a dashboard access for you to explore the platform, like that means there's a customers where he needs to come in, he needs to sign up, he needs to explore. That means there is a lot of opportunity for me also to send out more emails using our platform.
Makes sense. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
perfectly aligned. I think you're using soft signals, and then there are like ICP driven signals that you use, as in like filters you can use. Makes sense. Makes sense. I think, yeah, we'll switch gears. I think we got into a lot more depth, and thanks so much for sharing all that, right? So now you're actually kind of getting into leadership, right? And you've had P&L, managing teams, you have responsibilities. How do you manage your team as well? Like, is there anything specific that you do with your team that gives you a lot more productivity of sort with your team, right? So, are there any specific strategies that you do, or is it mostly that okay, because everybody is good, probably it's just happening, or there are specific things designed by you?
Okay. First thing is, man, that's a really tough question, even to answer also. So, like basically it's not a like easy role if you really ask me, because you individually achieving something, a goal, setting your target, where the let's say leadership team is given an individual target for you, and then focusing on that, it's going to be more easy for you to work on, right? But when it comes to a team, like especially you're driving a team, and they also need to be aligned in terms of your goal. There is a goal that which is set for a particular team. So now you're driving towards it, and everyone should be motivated at the same time. So yes, that takes a lot of things, especially whom are you hiring? What is their mindset? Is it just because like like transactional focused, where salary focused, or whether it's all a team goal that which they need to understand it's not an individual goal. It's all about the team goal. That's very important. And whom you're hiring, it's really really important. And after that there's a process, right? So we fall into on a daily basis, at least 2 days once, we get on a call, how many calls that we show me, how many demos you have gotten, and who's the customer, where are we stuck, right? We go through in detail on a like every 2 days once, and we weekly ones we will be having a call at least like 1 2 hours to understand and helping, for example, on my side, so helping where there's one person who's been achieving, second person is not achieving. That means where the problem is, right? I also need to understand like the process, right? So let's say there is an inbound flow that which is coming. There's let's say an average we are getting 50 signups. based on the region, based on the, let's say, whether it's a SaaS, whether it's a B2B or a B2C, rerouting the leads also accordingly so that they'll also be, everyone is motivated at the same time so that they can also close. So there's a lot more things that which goes into process, and we try to understand whether this person has done a good discovery or not, whether he's trying to listen to the customer, whether he's trying to understand with the customer problem, what is the problem. So we go in depth about each and every person. And I'm sure there are tools in the market these days called AI, like Fireflies and all, which helps in recording the meeting, which gives you overall insights on what is the action points and all, whether he's following up or whether he's on time following on calls, follow-up calls and all. So there's a lot more things that which comes into picture when it comes to that. Yeah, I think it's not a like 1 day, 2 day task where we were able to build a team to achieve a particular goal. So it's a process. So the process now it's all
Makes
set.
sense.
So we took almost like, I would say, almost like 6 to 7 months to build that particular process based on the feedback on everyone's understanding, like how the lead, like it's an overall process, right? In a day or two you cannot build. It's a months together to build that particular process.
No, makes sense. I think very aptly you responded. Actually, I was thinking in the last segment, actually, I forgot to ask one question was majorly related to, so whenever you identify a lead, right?
Mhm.
Uh, how does that happen? So is it like you've identified a lead and there is a generic sequence that runs for all the leads, or is it a personalized, you can say, or dedicated sequence that you do? As in, I'll just explain again, right? So I might be asking this in a very depth oriented question, but just was curious, how would you approach it, right? So let's say there are 10 people and you want to reach out to them. And how do you do it today? As in, you'll write 3 emails to all of them and then 2 LinkedIn messages or 1 phone call, or will it be like different for different people?
Okay, in our business, especially, what matters is like first thing is we would have understood which industry is working great for us. So we
Hmm.
focus on that particular industry. So we understand how are they growing in terms of overall as a business. We try to understand how good they are funding also. So that where there's a company, they're doing like they're big, but they're not doing email marketing. We don't want that because they're cutting down the budget. We don't want that to happen in the first case. So what we do, we try to understand which industry is working based on our current clients who are doing great. We try to reach out to all their competitors, all on all their industry. So we go more personalization. Let it be the first name. Let it be the right use case. So we are unique in the market, right? So that is really helping. Like today, everyone goes with, we will help you with the deliverability, we will help you with the increasing open rate, click rate. No, we do not even go by that. We go by directly, hey, you know that interactive emails can help you increase your free demo classes. You can have more conversion through it. Your product skills can be increased. Your hard to, because we have a product that which can be purchased, right? And your fintech,
Hmm.
let's say, hey, now your customers can complete the KYC within the email, right? Your profile application can be filled within the email. So we go with what does the industry where there might be a problem. So we are trying to go with the problem solution because one of the customers is facing that. That means we are assuming that even this customer is, but because it's the same industry, it's just a competitor. So if you're going with this, so there are high chances that which we get a response. And we go with the first name personalization and the problem solution. What is it? And we try to add a GIF also, how a customer can take an action within the email. And then giving a short link of like, you can book a schedule a call for, or just let me know your availability. We get a good response there.
My question was majorly related to like different leads having different personas. Do you like write different emails to them? As in different emails, as in number of emails will be dependent on the persona, or is it like generic?
No, it cannot be generic, especially email. No issue having a generic where if I send you a non-related, let's say you're from the SaaS side. So if I try to sell you like if it's when it comes to generic, if I send you a e-commerce related use cases, you will not like it. You will just ignore me. So it's always goes, we write a one-on-one email. The first two emails. So they, I would say out of a para, 2 to 3 lines will be very related to you. So we write that manually.
Makes sense. Thank you
And
so
we
much for
try
that.
to, Yeah, we try to touch point with at least a 5 to 6 email.
And that would depend on the persona. Yeah, that how
Yes.
many you wanna do. Cool. I had this question in my mind. I wanted to ask you, so I thought like, why not to ask you? So we were speaking about your leadership thought process. I think you
Yes.
rightly answered that. Okay, there are many pieces in play, and a lot of things you need to basically do in terms of seeing a lot of ROI from your own team, right? Because there are multiple people and people are difficult to manage, and there are things that you need to do in order to like maintain those. And how do you approach hiring as well? Like, is there a way that you hire? Are there tricks defined or that you use to hire? Or like how do you approach hiring? Because in sales, hiring is actually tough, right? So understanding how whether this is a good seller or not. What are some signs that you see as a red flag?
So most of the companies will have an HR, but in our company we don't have an HR. So we depend on individual managers. And how does this happen? Is, for example, in sales, the process is in such a way where we don't go by the HR by seeing his qualification, experience, all that. We'll keep it. Experience, yes, or maybe a good experience. Then we do not, like, let's say we give it to the individual salesperson, the other salesperson who already knows a product well, to understand, where there will be a small assignment that which will be given to understand about the product, or writing a sequence, or what is the call script that which has to be there and all. Yes. And after that, having a one-on-one call. So there are multiple level interviews that which goes from a salesperson to a particular manager level. At least a 2 to 3 rounds there will be there. And yes, that's how we choose very carefully. Will he be able to adopt with the existing team, or that he has a different mindset? Will he be able to adopt the tools and the process that what we are following? Like, let's say like, sales is all about process at the end of the day. Sending an email, following up a task, or updating that in your CRM. See, at the end of the day, it's not that I cannot keep coming and talking to you on a day-to-day basis, right? Yes. So if we will try to understand the tools, whether he's all good, and based on that only, we very well, like I would say, very cautiously we choose the person.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I think it was an incredible session that we had. Really good, inspiring and insightful with you. Any tips that you wanna give away to the audience related to negotiations per se, like any strategic deal that you kind of were losing and you were able to like bring it back to life? Any instances and tips to the folks?
Okay, so that depends on individual deal to deal. So one is, yes,
You,
if you're closing.
you don't have to name the company. You
Uh-huh.
can share the instance.
Sure. I'm just thinking about one of the customer where some cases there are, like, if you really ask me, it again depends on deal to deal, and it depends whether you're closing them on a short term or a long term. Short term where it's a monthly recurring. So whether how do you lock a
Yeah.
customer by building that particular trust, so that he will be able to give you an upfront money for a 1 year, and like you got that commit from the customer, right? So it's all about, if you really ask me, it's about the build and the trust on the tool and the value what you are giving, the mutual value that which is going to be there for, so that he also sees in his eyes, okay, this is what I'm expecting from Mail Modo. This is the value that which I will be getting. So, like, I would say that's really, really important, right? If you're locking a customer, showing them the value, what you're going to give them by using this particular tool, right? That, well, I would say that's really important. And the next comes, I think, very importantly, you being transparent. Then for not just by telling, like, telling everything, yes, yes, we have that, we have that. No, that doesn't. I say you need to have that transparent with the customer also. Well, like, I think that that's something that which build which helps in closing the negotiation. It's not about. So one is, yes, commercials plays a major role, and how do you show them difference between commercial is just one aspect, but the value what you're going to get out of it, what you don't get from any other tool, but what you're going to get out of a particular tool. That's really, really important. And then, like, it's all about the like, then it's a commercials where you give here and there discount, that which will be both, like, so that customer also is happy and your organization also is happy, that you are not undersold, or the customer also should not feel that you are oversold or something. right? So it should match both, I think. And very, like, if you really ask me, key important things, say whether you lose a deal or whether you, like, you closed a deal or whether you lost a deal, that's really, really important. But keeping in touch with the person is really important, is what I've seen. Right? Today, Ashutosh might be with Revrag as a founder. So tomorrow he might be some other big company, right? So you getting connected. It's not about just a calling or something. You're always in touch on somewhere. But now you're connected. We are all connected on LinkedIn, right? Keep a track of all your list, who's joined where. So that's really, really important, so that that will really help you to build your pipeline also, I'd say. You being in the sales side.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you so much for sharing all of this, your journey, your wisdom with us. And I'm sure like our audience had plenty to learn from you, right? And a lot of actionable insights that you have shared. So if our audience wants to find you, where they can go and find you, is there a
I think
platform? How
I
yeah.
don't have an individual platform, so it's my LinkedIn is where I connect, and I'm very active there. Yep, which is Shabharish KS is my name as a domain that which you will be able to find me easily, and I'm happy to connect at any point in time. If there is anything that which you want to learn, or if there is anything that which you want to know more about the current tool or anything, I'd be really happy to answer them at any point in time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sab, for having actually coming on the show and sharing your insight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh. It's been a pleasure
Thanks.
sharing my journey and insight with you all. Thank you.
Likewise, thanks.
Yeah. Late night dreams on the revenue ramp. Talking cash flow and sales stamps. Got Revrag